So, this is an overview of lesson 2.2, which is all about values. And I just want to say at the outset that we hear from both students and educators alike that this is one of their most favorite lessons. They very much enjoy the value sort. So, hopefully, you will too. So, the lesson goal is for students to be able to identify the values that are most important to them. There are various different types of assessment throughout. As usual, CASEL alignment is around self-awareness and identity. There are a number of elements that will be added to the portfolio at the end, including the value sort handout, and then several resources. The value sort online activity, which I'm going to review soon, a video about the activity itself so that you can really understand what that is like. And then there's also a collating activity where students will be able to see how their values may differ from or be similar to their peers. So I'll just jump right in. There's also, as usual, an optional refresher. You can determine whether or not that might be necessary for your students. So we ask at the outset that you model the value sort activity for your students. So really walk them through how you yourself might sort your values. It's important, I think, to say at the outset that it's not always self-evident what values are for students. So it's useful to spend some time explaining that and say that values are ideas or principles that we find to be important. They can guide decision making, how you spend your time either professionally in work or on academics, and they can be influenced as well as in your personal life. And values can be influenced by a variety of factors: family, community, things like that. It's good to explain to your students that the value sort is a combination of a few different things. Sometimes they're things. Values may be things that you value. So if you value positive relationships, that can be something that is listed in the value sort, as well as that they might be characteristics that we aspire towards. So honesty and integrity, those are values as well. And then we suggest that you pull up the online value sort activity and kind of walk students through that a little bit. So here is that activity, just to kind of model this for you a little bit and say, I'm going to now sort this. I'm just going to give it a name. And then here, continue as guest. And then here are the different things that I get to sort. So achievement, is that important to me? Yes, it's pretty important. And I would talk this through with my students. So I do value balance. It's really important to me. In fact, it might be even more important than achievement. So I'm going to put it over here. What about collaboration? How do I feel about working with other people? Is that important to me? It really is. Is it as important as achievement? Sometimes I'll put it here, but you can tell your students you can always move it later. So, creativity, very, very important. I might put that in the most important. Curiosity, also super important. And you're going to find, and you can say this to your students, it's going to be hard to put anything in the lower and less important category. So all of these things are important. Then what happens when everything is up here? I don't know. I'm going to have to wrestle with myself. And so sort of walking your students through how you think about efficiency is really important to me, but is it more important than being creative? Do I want to do things quickly and efficiently, or do I want to do them creatively? I don't know. I think I'm going to say that efficiency is less important. So just to say, model that for your students, walk them through the kind of thinking of the activity. And then show them how, basically like talk them through it and say that, on any given day, these things can shift and that's okay. It doesn't have to be the truth and the accurate understanding of values every single day. So give them the time to walk through this activity. It's also possible to do it on paper. There's another version. We can walk you through that in the activity video. And then you can bring them back after the 20 minutes where they have the time to really walk through and think about this activity and all of these different elements which we walk you through. Then we suggest having a conversation. How easy or difficult was it? What would you like to ask your classmates about their experience in doing the value sort? And then how Would anybody like to share this? You will be coming back to the value sort throughout the Good Project lesson plans, so you can let your students know that this is something they will have many opportunities to think about. There are little elements here where others talk about the personal connections, the opportunity for introspection. One student said, I haven't done so much soul searching in my entire life. And then there's an exit ticket per usual. We also have a number of enrichments to consider. So that's an overview of the value sort. I'm sure that you will all enjoy it, and lots of elements and supports here. If it's confusing in any way, I don't think it should be, but we make sure to support you in multiple ways.